apparel, it's wear apparel.
Yep.
I got to give it to you. We're live, boys, on a Winning on Wednesday.
Let me pull my mic up to my mic.
Throw my earbud in and make sure our AV is squared away.
Yeah, make sure I'm on vibrate because I will get a phone call, folks. Y'all know
that's what happens.
That's what happens on Wednesdays.
Winning.
When you win on Wednesday, your phone rings. Man, we had some incredible wins. What's going on, Patriot Business Alliance? My folks out there in internet land, Facebook land. We're going to go Oculus, right? Let's go 3D one day where people can actually feel like they're sitting in the room with us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how we take this whole thing.
I've been wondering about those Oculus, man, because I've been hearing some stuff from my brother about they got some pretty interesting things going on in there. So, boom, kick the door in when my son's using it. He gets you that look. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
You know what he's doing.
I'm shooting bad guys, man.
Yeah.
Okay, you better be.
I don't care what you call them. I don't care how you label it.
So here we are again on Wednesday. However many we've been doing, who knows, who cares? But we're going to keep doing them every Wednesday. And we just actually finished up doing a little mastermind session on some really cool stuff we're going to be working on in 2022. But why don't we start off with our Winning on Wednesdays? Mike, you go first.
Ooh.
Personal business, personal best, business best.
All types of winning. Let's see. This past Friday, this was a pretty big win for me.
Yeah.
I was invited out to this thing called Apex Evolution. Right, where we trained with some warriors, some Green Berets, some recon Bubbas. I was their corpsman per se during this field evolution, make sure nobody got injured, sprained, hypothermia, and it was with the company that I'm invested in, that I believe you're invested in. They called it Apex Evolution.
Yeah.
So 9 people show up. We're out in this town called Mullen, Texas. It's a 3.5-hour drive from here, out in the middle of nowhere, which is insanely cool. It's beautiful out there, just deer, animals. I mean, it was just great. But what was really the winning moment is when I saw these people who had never experienced military training, never experienced what it means to embrace the suck. And they look like a bag of smashed assholes when they started.
Sorry, Keith.
Like we all do in day one boot camp.
I'm talking, doing a jumping jack. We couldn't click 2 feet together and put hands together. I mean, you just look like you were just in a soup can, right? And then 12, 14 hours later, as we trained from 6 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. in the middle of the night, we saw this progression of these people getting into flow state. You see this mindset shift. You see the synergy created. And when it was done, they were loud. They were proud. They were counting in unison. They were uniform. And to be able to see that transition, these people were able to take away just a little bit of what we went through.
Yeah.
The ripping you down to your nothing and building you back up to success.
So important.
I mean, it was just amazing. And another win, just real quick, I was doing about 93 miles an hour. On the way home, had to get home. I got pulled over by yours finest, Texas State Trooper, and Aaron. He was like, "Mike, you're going to jail." And I was like, "Bro, it's a horrible thing to say."
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm in freaking Fort Worth right now. I don't want to go to jail.
No one does.
He's like, "Well, we got like 6 guns in the truck," and I said, "That's okay. Like
it's Texas. We're patriots.
It's legal."
Yeah.
And the cop rolls up and he's like, "Sir, you know how fast you were going?" I was like, "Absolutely." Gave him my card, my ID, and all that good jazz. And he's like, "Man, I'll be real hard pressed to give you a warning." I said, "Man, just do what you got to do. Well, this is what I'm coming from. This is why I'm speeding, whatever. No excuses. Give me my shit. I still need to get."
Yeah.
And he comes back. He's like, "You know what? I am going to give you a warning. You know what I mean?" He's like, "Your attitude on world is just crazy, where you're just happy about getting a ticket." And I was like, "Look, man,
do you know me?
No, you do. I'm just happy I'm not going to jail. Would you like to become a roofer?"
Yeah. You hit him with it, huh?
So that was my win, to be able to be involved with other people trying to make life-changing results in their life. So that was pretty epic for me. What about you, KC? You always win, man. Here's some. You just dropped a W.
So the 3-piece suit already.
That's
coming in here looking all dapper.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of racing to the finish line. So literally finished a trial. Got in the truck at, I don't want to say how many minutes till till start time and got from Terrell to here in time to do it.
In record time.
In record
Wait
time. I'll
a
just say
minute.
this.
That's amazing because of the time that you were doing it and the weather that we have right now. And 205, my friend.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, there might have been a little off-road track.
I guarantee it.
And I'm not talking rumble strip. I'm talking mud. No, just kidding.
So I got that man truck.
I'm in a Raptor. But that's one, being able to be here. I did miss the brain housing group brain session, and I regret that. But
sorry, we'll fill you in. We got you
looking down the road, just a we had some personal wins. Epic Halloween party for the kiddies on Saturday. That's probably the highlight, personal win. But still, looking forward to 2022, business wise, personal wise, making sure that things are getting planned. Something I'm learning to be less of last minute Larry, being more of mastermind planner like this guy here.
And if you guys want to know more about that, go back and listen to last week's episode or watch last week's episode. These guys were on a good one talking about your boy over here.
Yeah. But, taking those things and really implementing, doing them in your life.
Small steps.
Right. Doing them, actually doing, like getting up and not just doing the same thing every day, but doing things so that that if you hit this goal, this whatever, it's gonna radically change your life forever, right? So why wouldn't you work towards it, and why wouldn't you plan for it, right? Start taking those little steps, like actually writing it all out. So that's my personal win, is that I'm doing more of that.
That's good, because you realize that that's going to benefit you in the long run, and we're all different leaders, we're all different business owners, and things work for me that don't work for you, and vice versa. But I think the fact that you're actually putting the action, that's the key word there. So win for me is I hit my
favorite word, action.
I hit my annual goal today, my business annual goal today.
Whoa, that's amazing. That's freaking huge.
That's huge.
That's really amazing.
And you know what's even cooler about it is I still have 60 days to crush it even more. So I'm pumped.
For sure. So a bunch of bonuses up ahead. These are all bonus tokens you're grabbing now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, the fact of the matter was not even 60 days ago, I talked in here about I have a goal and I've been writing it down, and I took it from a monthly to a quarterly to a daily goal. And dude, that changed my whole outlook, because you just continue to you continue to chop away at the tree. And I did it today with, record time, right? So I'm past what I did last year, and I still got 2 months to go. So it's about to go down. That's all I'm saying.
That's a beautiful thing when the words that we speak are implemented into action, and then the results are given.
100%, man.
Hey, there's the things that you think and the words that you say become what you are.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying that as eloquently as other people have said it, but you have said you got kind of, think good, feel good, do good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's all that same thread where you're thinking it into existence, you're speaking it into existence, and then you are acting it into existence.
I never physically put it into play until I started really us building this alliance, was speak it into existence. Like, we've all heard it, but I tell you what, man, do I have my days where I'm like the whole world? Absolutely, because it's just a part of my DNA. But the mindset shift that I chose to make 12 months ago, knowing I was going to be a better person today, has greatly improved my marriage, my relationships, my business, our circle here, the things we do. So we're not just sitting up here running our sucks, guys. We're actually putting this into play. And I'm here to tell you that I crushed my goal today, and I still have time to dominate that goal. So do it. If you haven't done it yet, you should be writing them down. But that's a whole nother story we can get into in 2022, because we have an awesome.
It's about to be 2022, y'all.
Well, before we get to 2022, on December 15th.
What day?
December 15th.
All right.
We have everything squared away like we told you guys we were going to 2 weeks ago. We're going to be pumping out the social media blitz starting tomorrow with our view sub link, with the events already live on the Patriot Business Alliance page. Save the date. 12/15 from 6 and 9 p.m. at the local desk in Rockwall.
Where?
Is going to be at the local desk in Rockwall. Will be our annual whiteboard winners party.
Yeah, I'm loving that, man. It's such what I love about this team, man, is that we have an idea. We don't sit on it. We don't sit on ideas.
You don't.
No.
Then he kicks us in the tush.
Yeah.
We got to roll.
I try not to use I statements anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of my goals,
Yeah.
was to really include, because just because it's my idea, without y'all, it doesn't become creation.
100%. Yeah.
And so, and if they didn't sign off on the idea, well, then it's just an idea. But when you
goes
guys
right back to writing down your ideas and writing down your goals.
But it's when you have that idea that people support, that people get behind and go, you know what, that just crazy enough, it might just work. Right. And I'm that guy I'm just that crazy to have an idea, needle the thread, and freaking push the idea and convince other people to be like, yo, let's make this happen. It's going to be fun. Even if it's flop or bust, I'm going to have a damn good time.
And you know, that's the benefit to any alliance, I think, is when you get people that are in the same room with the same mindset. Doesn't mean you don't have to be the same people. We're totally different people. We have a lot of the same characteristics, but the fact that we have this trifecta of different experience, some of us like Santa, some of us don't, some of us work hard, some of us work harder, some of us wake up early like yesterday afternoon and then work till today. The benefit to all of this is that find the alliance where everyone's different, because you don't want to be a yes man. What's any fun with being the yes man?
No, you got it. I mean, we'll take an example. Yesterday, Jeff created the View Stud Bling for the White Boy Party. He's like, yo, give me some feedback. We don't feel like I'm allowed to be as candid as I want with this team
100%.
without anybody taking offense. Right. I'm like, man, this is great. This is great. What if we do this? What if we do that? Because because if you don't, you're stealing from your alliance. When you're not 100% honest with your team, when you got something that you may think it's going to hurt their feelings, I don't give a shit, hurt their feelings.
Well, you know what, the other thing too about hurting the feelings thing is, like, you stop being so soft. Let's just say for what it is, because I just had this conversation this week, and it's like, when things don't go your way, like, tell me it's not going your way so I can fix it.
Life ain't soft.
Yeah, don't be soft. People harden the be tough. I'm just gonna be
PG you can AF. Everybody knows what AF stands for.
Don't be soft.
Don't be soft.
The world is hard on right. The world's gonna keep.
Well, the world ain't getting any softer.
Well, and that's why we need the Patriots to stand up.
Right.
The Patriots need to stand up. You need to be tough. You need to callous your mind. You need to callous your bodies.
Stop watching the news.
Well,
don't look at car wrecks. Right.
Everybody looks at car wrecks, dude. That's a natural thing.
Hey,
I mean, be real.
I don't. That's in the rear view. I'm looking ahead.
But what if it's on my side?
Well, I'm just doing this,
and I don't want to hit somebody.
Hammer down on the gas.
I don't want. You're the one running over the person wrecked.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
No, I got to stop and hand out. Oh,
that's why you ran that ad. If you heard in a car wreck, I get what you're saying. All right, okay.
No. The thing is don't focus on the negative, right? Because that will beat you down. The world will beat you down. So you must toughen up. You can't be soft, because the world will beat you down. The force of average, right? The devil's outside doing push-ups. All these things that we keep reminding ourselves, reminding our alliance, is simply because, you can't be soft. You have to have a thick hide. You have to be able to take the bumps and bruises and the black eyes that you're going to get in business, right? You can't
in
buy
life.
Yeah, you can't buy that kind of experience, because it's going to make you more resilient.
I don't know. That kind of leads us into our topic and agenda and our thoughts for today. And I was asked a few days ago, he's like, man, why did y'all come up with this Patriot Business Alliance? Why is that so important to be able to use that word patriotism? And I kind of thought about it in my brain. I know what it means to me, but do the people that are listening to the words coming out of our mouth fully understand why we believe in patriotism so much?
I don't know. Let's talk about it.
And for me, it's I did join the military. I did serve this country. I did go overseas on 2 occasions, and so that just gave me even more inspiration,
amplified it,
and more respect for our country. And then you get out and you start your own thing, your own path, and when you fall and you think you can rely on family, but sometimes that doesn't pan out. But for some reason, anytime I was able to go and extend a hand or ask for a hand up by a fellow veteran, by a fellow patriot, they were there. Right.
Yeah.
And so that just reinforced my love for the United States, my love for patriotism. Right. And then we fast forward again, and you begin to surround yourself with like-minded thinkers, right?
Yeah.
Ones that share your values, ones that share freaking your rights and freedoms that we take advantage of.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're wondering why we decided on this Patriot Business Alliance, because we believe in all three of those words so heartedly. I believe in freedom. I believe in free capitalism. I believe in the rights to go out and make as much doggone money as you can.
Yeah.
I believe that you put your family above all. I believe that you put the power bigger than yourself above all.
Mhm.
And I believe that you can't take that shit from me.
Oh, well,
you know what
without
I mean?
a question in my mind, that to me is the most important thing is, you know, what we fight for every day, even as patriots, excluding the veteran kind of card over here. But what we fight for as patriots every day is the promise to give ourselves a better life, the promise to work hard and give my son something to grow towards, and a mentor to him. Because I'm a firm believer that in this state of the United States right now, the way that we take this country back, and I'm talking about the Patriots. I could give two shits about the politics that are involved in all this.
That's right.
Because this ain't about politics. But to me, what it means to be
it's
a patriot
beyond
is
politics.
100% beyond. Because to me, it's about giving him a life and a mentor that he can then be better than me. Which, in fact, if we want to take this country back from a patriot standpoint, we got to do it with our youth.
That's right. We have to begin to change the mindset of woe me, victim,
get rid of that shit.
Victim is me. And if it doesn't go my way, I'm going to throw a fit.
I mean,
right.
I just
and
can't
so
get behind
that's
that.
what distinguishes us apart from being a business alliance to a Patriot Business Alliance.
Yeah.
That's what separates the freaking lions from the herd, right? We are able to go out and create our own pack. I don't have to rely on anybody out there to create as much success as that I want. When I met you guys, you were already successful. You didn't need me to help you become successful.
But
right?
The alliance, the forming of that mutual association to benefit each other.
Correct.
You know, the rising tide lifts all boats.
That just expedited our success.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is at the core of our belief system, we said, nah, I don't need you, Uncle Sam. I don't need you, corporate America.
Yeah.
I don't need you, food stamps, WIC, or whatever else handout.
Yeah.
Right?
The monopoly
I'm going
money.
to be successful regardless of the barriers that have been placed in front of me because I'm a patriot. Because I know what the U.S. was founded on. I know what can happen because I've seen it.
Yeah.
And there's nobody out there that's allowed to tell us that we can or cannot do it because of a suggestion, because of coercion. Because we are here to promote that patriotism, your business, and being aligned with the right people will make you successful regardless of the situation at hand in the USA.
Yeah, man, I think patriotism really hit me when I was young, man, and it was something that was just like, you know, you go to that baseball game and you're a kid and the Star Spangled Banner plays and you don't know the significance of that as a youth. You know what I mean? You don't, unless you have someone like us who teach that to our children. And that's where it really started for me. I was proud, and I'm damn proud today to be an American. And I'm damn proud to be a small business owner in this country.
Right.
We are the smallest percentage of capitalists in the world.
Right.
So why not be proud and stand up? And the most important,
we're
the engine. We're the engine. I'm just going to say it, you know? So I think we need
Uncle Sugar, who you think's paying all them taxes?
Yeah, all of us, man. So being a patriot to me is a lot of different things, man. And we could probably talk all night about it. But look, guys, if you're listening and watching, what's it mean to be a patriot to you guys in the comments, man? Throw it in there and let us know.
Yeah, we want to hear about your wins.
Yeah, the wins as well.
But you know, I want to jump in on this a little bit, right? Because the definitions are important to me because it helps remind me, right? You know, you got three words mixed together. What does that mean, right? A patriot is my favorite definition, and it comes from
Webster.
English. Right, Webster's, right? A fellow countryman, right? Doesn't mean you're a veteran. A fellow countryman, right? Somebody who is from your country.
Yeah.
And business, right? The definition of that is the practice of making one's living by engaging in commerce. Well, what in the hell does that mean? And it's important to know what commerce means, because it's the activity of business, right? Of revenue on a large scale, right? We're talking about big think. We're not talking about like, man, I got to stretch this GI Bill as long as I can, because I'm probably not going to get accepted into a school. It's not gonna last me through whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, man, you don't worry about that. You double down on your good start, whatever that looks like, right?
Yeah.
And don't worry about another, student loan or this, that, or the other, or what's going to come next. Just work your ass off. Sorry, Keith. Work your ass off like you've never worked before. And then you're going to start having that big think, right? You're going to start thinking about scale, right? Like, what could you really do if you went for it?
Let's talk
went
about
all the way for it. And then last, alliance,
Go ahead.
right? That a relationship based on the mutual benefit, right? Of interests, qualities, and people's nature. Right.
Let's talk about that think bigger real quick, because I think more people need to hear those words. And it didn't make sense to me until I started investing in myself and was getting mentored to understand what that means. So when we talk on this show and talk to you guys in person, when you guys come and ask us for our opinions and we talk to you, whatever, think bigger means like, if you think you want, let's just say $100 this week, think about how to get to 1,000, because you're going to crush that $100 before you know it. So think bigger. If you think you're working hard, work harder. If you think you're working smarter, work smarter. What I took away from thinking bigger was I can do so much more. I did a post this morning and it was related to a vehicle and a governor. And if everybody knows what that means, is a governor's on your car, so you can't do 130. Is the moment you take that governor out of your mindset and out of your body, you're going to release so much power within yourself to think bigger. And I posted that this morning because I was in a mindset where it's like, I crushed my goal. That ain't it for me, right? I want more. I want to do more. I want to dominate my industry. I want to dominate this area. So if you think it's small, you have so much more in you to think bigger.
Well, and that's what really allows what he just stated with those definitions. Your fellow countryman, your businessman who's in there to make money, commerce, and your alliance. People that are going to hold you accountable, that think the same way you think and want the same end result. These are the people that will drive you to think bigger. These are the people that will drive you to think bigger. Now, when you think bigger, things are going to happen that you're like, oh crap, what just happened? And right now I'm looking over at Casey's phone and he's got this perfect little sentence. Read this to me right here. Read this to our audience real quick, because this really aligns up exactly what we're kind of talking about and why it's so important that you have the alliance, that you're in business, and that you're surrounding yourself with your fellow countrymen that believes what you believe.
So this kind of jumped out at me. We planned these topics over a year ago, right? But this month, right, we're focused on rejecting rejection, that we never lose, that we only learn, and we cannot lose because we never quit. Right.
And that, by definition, is a Patriot business alliance.
Oh, man, that's
okay.
It right there.
So reject rejection, never lose, only learn, and can't lose because you never quit.
Right. And
somebody put that on a bumper sticker.
Somebody put that
Mic
on
drop.
a t-shirt.
I
Boom.
think that's the show.
You know what I mean? That's it. Let's
forget the computer.
Let's just turn it off right now. But that's what I mean, right? So when we're sitting here talking about this Patriot business alliance, we're not afraid of rejection. We know we're never going to quit. That's why you've seen our mugs on this thing every doggone Wednesday,
right.
For however long we've been doing this, right? No matter how many times we failed, no matter how many crazy ideas that I've come up with and convinced them to get behind, we didn't fail. We fell forward. We said, cool, no big deal. Let's go bigger. And they're like, no, man, you're not thinking big enough. And then sometimes they tell me, Mike, you just thought way too big. And I don't know.
Right there,
so that right there, man, it's just, we really wanted to shed some light on to what we really mean behind our Patriot Business Alliance, what it means. And so if you're out there and you're listening, you can get behind that. We want you all in. We want you all in. And if you're on the gray area and you're wondering, man, is that what I'm about? Fuck it. We want you all in too. Sorry, Keith. You know what I mean?
Hashtag sorry, Keith.
Hashtag it. But
that's how
Keith
on the show one time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Keith on the show.
I mean, that's how important it is for us, because we can get so confused right? We can get so convoluted. Like he stated, don't watch the news. Don't scroll through you know what I mean? Don't be envious of what you're scrolling through on Facebook and IG.
Or watching the crashes or the fails or the people making fun of other people.
I'm going to watch the crashes.
Yeah, we're going to watch crashes.
Golly, don't take away my sanity.
We got a comment here from Travis. Hey, brother, thanks for joining us, man. And we'd love to see you at our 12:15 whiteboard party. But he says, thank you for what you're doing. Successful veteran businessmen and women are needed to push back against the broken veteran narrative. Like, I just want to touch base on that because we don't push the veteran card ever. That's, I mean, we're all veterans. And if you know us, you know that what we're pushing here is the fact that a Patriot Business Alliance is here for guys like Travis so they can come speak their mind, be candid, be open, you know, maybe callous their mind a little bit. And when I would say callous their mind, like do the hard work first, think about the hard things first and do them quickly. Never sit back and wait, because like Doc said this evening, when Doc sat down 2 years ago and we couldn't meet in person anymore, he said, I'll be damned. We're going to continue along, and did our first video as an alliance, and it steamrolled from there. Yeah. So the broken veteran narrative, if I'm just speaking candidly,
do it. Let's hear it.
I think that's a bunch of bullshit.
It is,
because I think that's a way out for people to be like, woe is me. And we don't do that. I don't do that. I don't play that. Look, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me so I can fix it.
Yeah. But real talk, I was a broken veteran.
And you know what? Most of us were. So were the World War II veterans. So were the Vietnam veterans, the Korean veterans. Yeah. Don't lean on that shit is what I'm saying.
No, absolutely.
Don't be soft.
Don't be soft, but recognize it.
Yeah,
I'm broken.
Yeah.
But don't label me as broken.
Correct.
Don't freaking, and I think that's more of the reason why that I don't go around touting I'm veteran this, veteran that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's all over my truck and it's part of my brand and what have you. But when I'm just regularly speaking, like, I don't ask for military discounts. I don't ask for this, that, and the other. Like, I didn't ask that cop to not give me a daggone ticket, but he noticed that there's a
positivity fix that.
He just know what it was. Well, yeah. He was proud of what we just went and accomplished. We was proud that we served the country, and he recognized that.
Yeah,
because I bleed it. I sweat it. I live it. You know what I mean? There's not an ounce of a day that goes by that I'm not cheering somebody up, giving them positive affirmation, creating a positive flow within inside my own house, so that when the world wreaks havoc, that it can't jack with me.
Keep it pushed
You can't jack with me, because you can't jack with my energy, because we believe so wholeheartedly in what the PBA is about.
It's like you say all the time, man. Don't allow someone else to dictate my emotions.
No.
Right. And that hit me hard a couple months ago when you first said that, because I'm a very on the sleeve kind of guy, very candid. And if someone pisses me off, I'm typically going to tell you I'm pissed off.
No way.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's a shocker. Right?
Dude, tell.
Oh my God. Does Tiffany know this about you?
No, I have to tell her later. Yeah.
She's still wondering.
What it did for me, though, was held me accountable. You know what I mean? I had to go back and look in the reflection in the mirror, the accountability mirror, and say, okay, bro, why are you looking in the mirror? Why are you letting everybody else dictate how you feel in the morning, or if I felt this way? Now, don't get me wrong. I get pissed. Sometimes I'm just an angry old man. You know what I'm saying? But the accountability factor is what I'm most grateful for in this Patriot Business Alliance, because it allows me to improve myself.
Yep.
That if you're doing something wrong, why not fix it? Why not do the hard work now and do the hard work fast? Like, don't wait. Tell me if I'm wrong. I want to know.
Don't wait. And there's so many little takeaway. One, don't wait. That's a lesson that this guy's always pushing. Don't wait. Do it now. Right. And,
he's all about that.
You know, man,
sure.
We should get that on his desk, right? Just don't wait.
He don't need it. It's in his DNA.
So there's another thing, though, that both of you touched on. And I remember Aaron Withrow said this years ago, because he was talking about, and not that we're insensitive to, you know, we know that there are veterans who have come back from all kinds of wars, and some from peacetime service, right? They served as police officers and they had to deal with, you know, a lot of murders or a lot of bad stuff. Doesn't really matter, right? They have these invisible demons, these injuries that are up here, right? Some of most veterans, like Aaron was saying, are fucking winners. Sorry, Keith. # sorry.
Some veterans get all of that pain in one time. Most veterans live that pain for a lifetime.
The thing is,
so we're not being like, forget you veterans, you're not hurting. I hope that didn't come across.
No,
that
I don't
way.
think it does, but it's also an encouragement to go, hey, but these are people who got an at bat, and they're still swinging away, right? Bam, right? You know, I mean, Hammer and Hank Aaron,
R.I.P.
all-time home run leader, also all-time strikeout leader, right? He just kept hammering away, and that's how I think that message gets lost. That yes, there's a need for care and comfort and dealing with PTSD because it was ignored or not even diagnosable.
Same could be said for the Patriot side too, though.
Absolutely. You don't think our police officers who have to deal with the brutality day in and day out, or people who grow up in toxic environments, family abuse, right? They have PTSD, right? They're, CASA kids, right? I mean, those kids have PTSD.
I had PTSD from the day I was born. And if I held on to it and I let it control my life, well, then that's what I would be, a PTSD.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. You're taking an at bat, and
that's
again,
the point I was
failing
making.
forward, right? You're taking that failure and you're going forward with it.
Right.
You're not going to let it hold you back. You're not going to be a victim, a drainer. Okay, I've got this crutch now because of my childhood, because of whatever it is, right? Yeah. And if we've talked about this before with books, Goggins, Can't Hurt Me,
Dude,
Navy SEAL, just a profound book on not using these crutches wherever you get them in life, because you're like, hey, shake off that crutch, son. Here's your shot in the U.S. Navy. Yeah. And then you come back home and here's another one there. Yeah. Size you up for a new crutch if you want it. Yeah. Right. Or you can just shake that thing off and take another at bat, which is the affirmative decision that we're encouraging everybody.
I was just talking to Doc before this about that book. If you haven't read Can't Hurt Me, or if you're not a super reader like me, I'd rather listen to an Audible.
Me too.
I'm on number 3 of listening to that Can't Hurt Me book, and I'm getting a whole new perspective. I was telling Doc this a little while ago, man. So, hey, go get that book today. Buy it on Amazon, buy it on Audible,
and
start listening to it.
Do the lessons. Do the lessons that Mr. Goggins encourages you to, write it down, get it out.
What do they say? The work is worth it.
Absolutely.
It is. And, we are able to label ourselves. And for a very, very long time in my younger years, I labeled myself as such. And I wore that with the badge of honor.
Yeah. Woe is me.
Woe is me. You know what I mean? Poor me mindset. And whenever, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the transition was. I mean, I do. It was a power bigger than me that came in and said, Mike, you need to rip off the old label and you need to put on the new label. And that's where I began to implement your I statements. I am a success. I am a great person. I am a, you know what I mean? All these positive affirmations of who I am and not what I thought I was. Right.
It's a big difference.
It's huge.
It is
huge because we were never put on this earth to be mediocre. We were never put on this earth to be average. We were all put on this earth for a purpose, but we get distracted by labels.
I have a label for you. Represent what winning looks like at all times. And I learned that this year through my mentorship program. And I've been living by that, and I've been preaching that to my team and my guys that work for me.
You got to throw that. Take that in there.
Yeah,
it's good.
And I'm telling you, man, represent what winning looks like at all times. And that means, even like a post I said the other day, when it hurts the worst, do the best work. When you don't want to do it, that's the time when you need to do it the most. And when you talk about the Patriot Business Alliance, that's what we're shooting for here, is when we don't feel like coming in here, or we don't feel like masterminding or planning the 12 months of content to provide to you guys, that's when we need to do it the most. Because that's when we start talking about callousing our mind, because it's not swinging the hammer that's hard. It's the brain work that's hard.
It is. It's last night, right? Could have coasted, got the content outlined, to you guys early, right? Astros losing the World Series. I'm in a bad mood, right? Astros losing. I guess they can't.
They didn't lose. They got whooped.
They can't. I guess they can't have the trash can in the dugout and take the signs from the other team.
Don't watch the news.
Right. Anyway, but had to do some work. Didn't really want to do it. Started drilling down. Just started grinding through it, right? And I knew that I needed to hang in there and finish the work because I didn't want to do it, and because there were all these other things. Oh man, I could just,
because you got called out
for a minute.
You got called out is why we were calling KC out. We're like, yo, are you there?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my gosh. Yep. And so that's the power of the alliance because we had no idea the Astros were even playing. I'll be honest with you. I don't do
Yeah.
baseball, but I will give you a fun fact.
Do we want to know?
We're 6-1 with them Dallas Cowboys.
That's it. Don't worry, they're gonna break our heart at some point.
Hey, don't put it in the universe.
No, why would you say such a crappy
You know why?
thing?
Because I've been repping the Cowboys since I was
Forever.
my whole life.
Never.
And you know what? We lived our good times during the Super Bowl run with the Aikman and all that jazz or whatever.
We're on the Super Bowl run right
Bro,
now.
since then, I've been breaking my heart. Let's just talk about sports for a minute. I wasn't really into baseball until Big Country and I were in Indiana, and we had a night off because the CDS sucked, and there was like 4 people there. So we caught a AAA ball game, and I'm like, man, I forget. You want to talk about all American sport? It's a sport of baseball, right? So I'm like, hey, I'm kind of back into this, or whatever. In Big Country, I know you're probably pretty sad today, but he's a huge Houston fan. He's a Houstonite too. But them boys got whooped last night.
Did they?
Man, it was like bottom of the 6th, 7-0.
They called the game early,
bro.
No.
You could see it in their face, you know.
Yeah.
You could see it in their face. They were just like, it's over.
And it was a mindset thing, right? You know, they got runners in scoring position in the first inning. And then Atlanta came back and got control of the game and got the big mo. It's the law of the big mo.
They hit a grand slam in the first inning the other night.
And that was
that big cool chant. Whoa, right?
Maybe.
The Tomahawk chant. I guarantee they did.
Well, I tell you, every person in that freaking stadium last night was just whooped.
Yeah. Oh, was it in Houston? The last game was in Houston?
Last game in Houston. You know, they will fail forward. They will use that as fuel to rise up and remember what it's like to lose on their home turf.
Yeah, they've lost more World Series games than anybody else, and that's a win.
Wait, but you're not a baseball fan, but you knew that?
Actually,
Just made it up.
I totally believe that. You could have,
because you say with confidence.
You could have left it
the
at that.
Houston Astros have lost more World Series games than anybody else.
You got the wrong team.
It's okay.
But the Braves didn't have one for a long time.
Yeah, the Braves lost like 6 World Series in a row.
But at the end of the day, I bet you every single one of those guys that has a competitive nature is thinking about how I'm getting better next year.
That's right.
That whole pitching staff, well, they got to go back to the drawing board for Houston.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they built themselves an alliance. The Braves and the Astros were topping their batting, scored the whole deal. So the 2 best teams swung it out, but they had to do the work even when they didn't want to, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. So hopefully the Cowboys take care of business.
They will, and that's what we like about the Cowboys.
They break our hearts for 20 years.
Yeah, and it does.
They're the most exciting, mediocre.
Tell us your favorite sports teams in the comments.
Yeah, throw it in the comments.
And how many times have you lost and decided to get back up and take another bat?
Weekly.
You know what I mean?
Daily.
And
sometimes daily. So what do you do when you have a loss? Let's talk about failing forward. What do you do when you have, I'm talking about a soul crushing, this just really upend. I'm in the ditch. Like I'm about to call Mike Bassett. I'm so in the ditch. What do you do at that moment?
I had one of those this week, and I'll be transparent. I had to let go and let God. There was a point where I said, okay, whatever happens in the next step, I know I'm giving 110%.
Yeah. Every
single day. There's some times where you just have to let go and let the power greater than you, whoever that may be, Buddha, God, whatever it is, you have to have faith in that things are going to work out for you. That's what I did this week. I said, you know what? Okay.
Yes. Whatever. Relinquish control. So that's what I do when I fail. Yeah. I relinquish control because the failure already happened.
It's done.
So for me to get stuck in the failure zone, I'm going to continue to fail longer.
Well, you're going to continue to focus on that failure.
Right. Which means I'm going to
you're going to fixate on it. And then that's all you're going to.
It's going to fail. Right. But then when I realized that, you know what, I didn't even control that failure. But what I can control is, so I focus on what I can control. I can control why I failed. I can look at it, reevaluate. What did, what's his nuts come up with tonight? Ben, what do you call it? Fear?
Oh, with a PH.
Right? Yeah. Persistence, hustle, assess, plan, repeat. I don't know. It's a really cool thing that we'll probably be getting into. But that's what I do. If I fail, I look and I go, why did I fail? What could I have done better? And was it totally my fault? And at the end of the day, it's always 100% my fault because I'm the one who was in control. And as soon as I fail to forget that who is in total control, which is the man upstairs, that's when shit goes into chaos. Yeah. And so I just let it go back. Like you said, I let go and I let God. I let go and I accept that freaking knucklehead sandwich. Right. And I just try not to repeat it again. But sometimes I repeat because what do they call insanity? What's the definition of insanity?
Doing things the same and expecting different results.
Right. But folks, I'm insane because I'll keep on doing it. and expect it. But the most important thing is I have a system of when I fail, I know what to do, because I remember what I used to do when I failed, and that didn't work.
Wallow in it.
Just didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I never got anywhere. I just got my head hurt. That was it. And I pissed somebody else off, but in today when I fail, I'm able to be honest with myself. I have the courage now to go and tell my wife, hey man, I just made a transaction. This freaking cost X amount of money. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it back. Or, hey man, I just, you know what I mean? I totally messed this whole client up and I took the failure to, you know what I mean? I took ownership of that failure so that I could be able to use it as a teaching moment and then go ahead and give it back and not repeat that failure.
I love that part of it, because we're given what others give us. The people that mentor us are more successful than us, and they got where they are by giving to others. Mm-hmm. So let that be a lesson to you. I'm super proud of my son, because he went out and volunteered tonight with just a little mention. Hey, buddy, they got some volunteer spots open over here. And at first he kind of did that 15-year-old look, and then he goes, okay, right? Cool. That's a win, dude. Yeah. For a 15-year-old to give up their personal time, shooting bad guys, playing music, doing whatever, to go and be selfless enough to be like, you know what? I see what dad's doing here. I got you. And he ran with it. And he's at school right now volunteering. Cool. I'm telling you, man, that's the kind of things that we're talking about as being patriots, is teaching the younger patriots to stand up, believe in what we fought for, believe in what we fight for every single day, and continue to move the peg forward.
What are some of yours? I mean, I know you've had to have one or two lumps.
He's got about 80 years worth of patriotism.
I believe he won't get a haircut because of all the lumps that he suffered along the way.
No, he cut it, may not grow back.
That too.
What do we do?
How
do you bounce back? It looks so damn good doing it.
It's a 3-piece.
It might have something to do with it. No, I mean, what I do is I do an immediate assessment, right? I take immediate responsibility for it, but then I mean, especially when it's one of those ones where it's, you look here, say whatever you want to. When the ship's taking on water, there are no atheists. Promise you. Yeah. Ship is taking on water. There are no atheists.
I tell you, were 1,000% right. And I want to confirm why you're saying that. We were in the suck. Rounds were coming at us. And a friend of mine was practicing Wiccan. Okay. Like this dude, we talked about it, and then shit hit the fan. He was like, yo, Doc. I'm like, yeah, what's up, Fry? He's like, you got that Bible? Mm-hmm. I was like, why? He's like, it's happening. And I was like, yeah. And I was kind of I was that guy. I was a corpsman. As a corpsman, you're not only the guy that saves lives, but you're the counselor, you're a mentor, you're somebody that been
you're a homie, you're everything. Yeah.
Like you're one, you're a lot to these Marines. And he's like, man, I just wanted, I've been listening to what you've been saying, and can you pray? And I was like, yeah, very, you know what I mean?
Matter of factly too, probably.
Yes. And we did, and we were like, all right. And we all came about, and next thing you know, he's no longer Wiccan, and he's like on board with Christianity and understanding, because we don't know what we don't know.
And he failed forward, right?
He failed forward.
And it was a problem,
right?
And you got to give up and get God.
So when you say
let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
When you say that you immediately stop and assess, what's the first thing you look at?
Yeah, like how did it happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how did it happen? Right? Accept complete responsibility for it. I don't give a I don't care what it could be, but I'm never going to blame a customer. Yeah. Never going to blame a customer. That is whatever.
Even though some of them are jerks.
You know what? That is true, but that's my responsibility. Yeah. Right? That's my responsibility. I didn't handle something. Right. And if you're putting it out there, right, that if you're focused on blame and instead of brainstorming, you're blame storming, you are never right. You're never. I remember working at a place. Here's a leadership fail. I remember working at a place where meetings it was like going to.
Oh, sounds like a whooping.
Yeah, it was like going to one of those reality TV shows. Everybody get in the conference room. We're going to talk about what a fuck up Skinner is.
Yeah. I've been there.
Right. And then sometimes Skinner would have to go out of the conference room so people could whiteboard, and I'm like,
I'm gonna brainstorm whether this guy's a shitbag.
Yeah. Hey, I think that's happened.
This is the least productive way to identify impediments to success in business. This is what I thought the whole time through these meetings. And then I got to a certain seniority at that place where I could just slide out and not have to be in those meetings.
Yeah.
And I'd always have an excuse to not be in them because I didn't find any value, right? Like, we're just going to talk about all the reasons that Brannigan is never going to be given that level of responsibility again. Oh, wait a minute. It's tomorrow. Here's the car keys. Go handle what we told we're never going to give back to you. There was never a solution there. Right, we're just spinning wheels.
Just brought up some memories of me when I used to be that blame guy. I used to be that. Wasn't my fault.
Yep.
And now when I hear that, I get so frustrated.
Yeah,
I get so frustrated. Even when I do fail forward and I do. Oh well, I have to stop myself. No, that's not your problem. That's my problem.
That's on me.
That's on me. For it. But it just reminded me how much I used to push the blame.
Yeah, well, I think we all did, right? Because we're taught this leadership tactic.
No, we're taught the lack of accountability. It's okay to stand up and say, "Hey, I failed," and it's okay to do that in front of your team as well, because they need to know
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, exactly.
Right? But
yeah.
So accepting complete responsibility for it, right? I don't give a crap. I didn't put it out there in the universe, but somehow or another, that customer picked up on it. I got to own that.
Yeah.
Right. And I want that problem back because I know that problem's another opportunity for me to win that customer back over. Right. I welcome problems, like I want a steady diet of problems. I want bigger problems. I want to be uncomfortable. And, this comes from the mentoring that I invest in, right? This training comes from the mentoring that, like yourselves, a year ago, I decided to make the biggest investment I've ever made. And it's been just like yourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like it has pushed me so beyond what I was doing before and what I ever thought I was capable of doing. And I think a lot of it comes accepting responsibility, welcoming, not like, oh God, I do not want to talk to Brannigan. It's Wednesday afternoon and I've got to go eat dinner tacos or whatever. Wednesday at the Landing. I'll do anything, but I don't want to talk to Mike Brannigan today. He can chew my ass tomorrow. No, you own that right now.
Yeah.
Right. On that drive home from Terrell, maybe keep it under 90. Go slow so you can have that convo with Brannigan, right?
We got a comment here from James Smith. He says, howdy from Corpus Christi, all the way down south, man.
Appreciate it. Love Corpus.
Tell my boy Mark Harrelson with Doc's Fishing Clinic. I said, what's up? You look him up.
As a completely blind carpenter, I could take no from everyone that won't hire me as a carpenter. I'm taking the no's and I'm starting my own carpentry business.
Nice.
Get some.
There you go,
nice.
James.
Like real talk, he's blind.
I don't, James, are you blind? Like for real blind?
Or for real blind?
Is that like a type of carpentry?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm not a carpenter.
Yeah.
I mean, I can build some shit, but
because I'm a blind carpenter because I can't cut straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
measure twice.
Tell us.
Cut 3 times. Throw away 1.5 times.
Like I buy extra material just because of my
I wanted to bring
skills.
that up because that's exactly what the Patriot Business Alliance is about. Is people that follow us, and some of you guys follow us from the shadows, and we love you just as much, and it's totally fine. The fact that people are seeing that the Patriot Business Alliance is more than us just running our suck, that we're really implementing what we're talking about, and people are starting to start their own businesses. Last year when we did our whiteboard party, if you missed it, dang, you missed it. There was a ton of wins in that room.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars in revenue.
It was exciting.
50,
the energy
60
in there.
new employees. Like I'm telling you, be there on December 15th. I promise you.
You're going to want to be there.
Hey, James, and good luck with your
we're
business.
going to bring it. We're going to bring the heat. That's what we do. It's something you want to show up.
Well,
with.
here's the deal: is we want to bring the heat, but the people that come, we want to hear their heat.
Yeah,
that's why we're doing this.
So instead of us bringing we're bringing a different type of heat.
We're gonna bring the
I'm putting you on spotlight mode. I'm taking these doggone new lights that we have in here that y'all can't see.
Look good though, don't it?
Looks good.
Look good.
I was gonna ask. I was
Thank
like,
you,
hey,
Jeff.
can somebody comment
Thank you,
if the video lighting?
Yeah, we got a couple of texts. Somebody texted me and said, "Good video, good lighting." Hey, we're improving every day.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I didn't know. And so back to my train of thought. Like we are going to challenge those people that come in there with their problems. We're going to die. I'm going to hit you guys with some hard ass questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I promise you, I'm not throwing this whiteboard party for me only.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here to change. We are here to change your mindset, make you the best elite version of yourself, make you understand what winning represents at all times. You know what I mean? Like really diving deep. Yeah. And I'm telling you what, for $25 to be able to get in the room with any of us, like you're stealing.
And the rest of your alliance, right?
Hey, follow up on James. Like, he's straight up a blind man. That's a carpenter. James.
Man,
James.
I'm going to put you in touch with some people down in Corpus Christi. I know some folks down there.
Send Doc a message, man. Hit him up.
I'm gonna put you in touch with some right people. I promise you.
That's so cool.
That's killer. Hey, but 12:15, 6 to 9 o'clock at the local desk in Rockwall. Come with your wins. Come with your questions. Come with your concerns, because that's why we're
Come with
throwing
your
this.
plans.
Come with your failures.
Doc's he's already had this in his head for 60 days. So the questions he's going to bring, I'm excited to hear them.
I mean, I just have a passion, man. Like, I get ideas and I have a passion of giving back.
Love it.
I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it's there. It's one of the reasons I probably went into the medical field. You know what I mean? It's just embedded into me to give unconditionally because there's a reward.
That mindset shift that you did 15 years ago, that's what happened.
You know, there's some reward factors of giving unconditionally without expecting anything in return.
That's a true gift of giving.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
100%.
what giving to me is about. Like, I can give.
Yeah, because once you do it,
you could almost say that that's what patriotism is about.
That is what patriotism is all about. And then people wonder, like, damn, Doc, you're so lucky. I'm like, no, I'm not lucky. Okay. I'm not lucky. What I am is that I've given so much and never expected anything that the universe is like, here you go, Mike. Like, we see what you're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So the gifts get given back. Right.
I got to comment on that. I got to comment on that because I was watching something about some really, really hardworking law enforcement officers, not in this country. And their employer, their supervisor, whatever he was, the big honcho, was giving them a compliment because the people who did this just unbelievable feat they were like, man, it's blind luck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like the way we pulled that, it's just blind luck. And the boss was like, no. What luck is, especially in that case, was opportunity and persistence meeting.
That's right.
Right. That's what he's like. These people worked so hard. They made the luck.
Yes.
Right. Because they put persistent action. My favorite word, persistent action. And through that, they had an opportunity, right? That was more like, that wasn't luck, man. I
don't think I've ever hit luck.
That was manifest,
I mean,
right?
That's a couple times in Iraq, but
like, I get lucky.
I mean, it happens, but the luck factor is exactly what you said, is because you're preparing.
Because you manifest it, right? You willed it into existence, right? You thought it, you spoke it, and then you acted it.
Well, I speak so much optimism. Like, I'm a overly optimistic individual.
It's almost like annoying sometimes. Yeah. I'll be honest. I love Doc. I've known him for 20 plus years. Some days I come in like, he's like, I'm like, this fucking guy again. But I leave in a better mood.
Yes,
every time.
Because you can't get sad because it doesn't matter because it still happened. like it just doesn't matter if you got in a car wreck.
Yeah, there've been numerous days coming in here.
The damn
grumpy.
wreck happened. So be happy. You're like, fuck it. Gap insurance wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's always a silver lining.
Like, so seriously, the first guy to pick me up from my house to come record this was Jock Rannigan. He's like, I better come in my car because.
Oh, that's when you're all busted up.
Yeah,
I remember that.
all
Yeah,
busted up, hand, neck, back, foot.
Yeah,
looked like you just literally had a crash in the South America.
Yeah. I ran into some rodeo cowboy, and he's like, "Man, you look like you just lost a race with a bull."
I mean, I don't deal with excuses.
We still gave him shit, and we still held him accountable, right?
Yeah,
and that's what the beautiful thing about all this is, man. I feel like we could keep going for a little bit more. We're at the top of the hour.
You know me, Jeff, we really start to hit our synergistic level at about 35 minutes into these gambits, but you hit the nail on the head. That is what it's about. When we are in our darkest days and we are in that, I mean, I was there. I made a post about it a few days ago, right? I'm sitting there in the gym.
You didn't want to be there, remember?
I didn't want to be there. My muscles were aching and the music sucked, and you know, right? It was just all it's a whole abundance of reasons why. And you know, and I was like, man, what am I gonna do? And I look over at this guy, and he looks like he's having the exact same thought that I was. And I said, hey man, you won't be here either. He's like, nah, bro. He's like, but we're here. I was like, yeah, you're right. He's like, well, let's get swole. I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? It was just that little bit of
Sometimes
a person I never even knew.
Yeah.
Didn't even know this joker. And he was like, yeah, man, let's do this. And then I was like, all right, well, you want to do some pull-ups with me real quick? He's like, oh. I was like, no. I said, but it's the hardest work first.
Do the hard shit
right?
first.
It's and like a pull-up people to look at it and go, man, I'll do pull-ups all day, but I'll challenge any one of you cats to a pull-up game.
You got me beat.
You know what I mean? Like, because I put in the work on doing pull-ups, lifting your dead body up off the ground multiple times. Like it's a mind shift thing again.
Mm-hmm.
You're pulling up, you're pushing down, and you're doing the work that you don't want to do. And when you're done, you look back on it, and you can look back and you can shoot them the double fingers. You can tell the devil to suck it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's who was trying to get me off ground. He was trying to, I got so much good going on. He's like, man, I got to jack with this dude's chi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to see where he really at. Is he faking the funk?
Yeah.
Or is he really living the words that are coming out of his mouth?
Well, because at the end of the day, it's going to come out in the wash.
Damn right.
It always does.
Every time.
Like we always talk about, the BS is going to show its face every single time if that's how you're living. So chase the relationships, not the dollar. Do the hard shit first, and the easier stuff is just twice as easy. And lean on your alliance.
It gets easier.
Lean on your alliance. And if you don't have one, you got them right here.
Yep.
Call us, email us, Patriot Business Alliance, tx@gmail.com. We're going to be busting out the view stub links and the whole deal for the 12/15 event that's coming up starting tomorrow. And then we got a whole jam-packed 2022 coming up. It's going to be insane. I'm pumped for it. So any say rounds before we cut this loose?
All right, last thought, right?
Yeah.
As a leader, your job, you must create and reinforce a culture of learning, right? A culture of 100% accountability and not blame storming.
Love it.
Right? That's it. That's all I got.
I love that word, blame storming. Like I was like, yeah, I would hate to be in that room. You know?
But we've all been there.
Yeah. I've been there.
I used to be that guy. Yeah. So man,
and it never worked. And I'm talking to you about I'm persuasive.
I would agree with that.
When I'm trying to get out of something, you know what I mean? I was good at getting out. I was real good at skating, right? That's what they called me.
That's someone in the military that likes to get out of shit.
Get out of shit. That was me, man. I was good at it. But it didn't benefit me, right? Like I regret skating on some of these occasions, right?
Yeah. Because
I missed out on invaluable knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Because I thought, going in there and studying with that IDC wasn't going to benefit me. Man, I'm not even going to be here that long. You know?
Yeah.
I had a very, very poor thought process, and I didn't have an understanding of future goals.
Man, I love this candid conversation tonight, man.
Future goals is so apparent, and it's so important. And I made my first future goal when I was a freshman in high school. I knew that when I joined the ROTC that I was going to join the Navy. So there was a reason for me doing that, so I could go into the military as an E3. I didn't want to be an E1. And then when I became when I joined the Navy, I said, all right, I'm going to get through this medical school so that when I get out, I can be a registered nurse. Mm-hmm. That was my next future goal. From there, at 30, I said, at the age of 40, I want to be a millionaire, right? I've always had these future goals.
Yeah, you're a big thinker for sure.
And it's just panned out, and people look at me and go, man, how did it happen? I said, because I set it in motion 10 years ago.
Yeah, manifest, right?
Do the work.
Opportunity, persistence, manifest.
Yeah. I set it in motion, and then let nature do its course. Mm-hmm. As long as I'm putting in the work behind the thought process, then the results are going to be there.
Well, and the work continues to get work harder, not smarter kind of thing as you get further along in the business and further along into just leadership positions. So don't think that if you're at that 1 year, 2 year mark, that it's always going to be that way unless you continue to do business the way you're doing it now.
Yeah.
I'll say that again. You don't think it's going to be that way all the time unless you continue doing you the same way all the time.
Yeah.
You have to adapt and overcome.
You can't think about, I got to hold on to this success.
You got to say, how can I get this and make 10
I
of
got to
them?
have this and this and then that.
Yeah.
Right. You can't. And I'm not talking about just the success that goes in your wallet. I'm talking about those little paychecks to the heart.
Right.
You can't try to hold on to the success you have because, right, 6 out of every 6 $100 bills out of every $1,000 did not exist 1 year ago. So if you're trying to hold on to this, that's more, right. That's more like that right now. Right.
That's because Biden's.
Yeah, I know. I'm not getting political. I'm like, we've been printing money.
I just want to repeat what
money
you said.
Since the housing crisis in 2009. What I'm saying that is if you're trying to hold on to the success of last year, you're not trying to be better than you were last year.
Think bigger.
You got to think bigger because what you're holding on to gets smaller every year just by inflation, by competitive trade, by other people in your sector, right? I mean, and you can't be thinking about other people in your sector. You be thinking about you yesterday. That's your competition.
Am I better today than I was yesterday? Did I make one step forward to be able to eat that damn elephant?
Exactly.
Because I promise you, folks, my 40 to 50 year, 10-year goal will blow some freaking people's brains out of the water. They'd be like, holy crap, how do you even think you're going to be able to attain that? And I said, just stand by. Just stand by.
Just watch.
Just stand by and watch this shit. I would tell you to hold my beer, but I don't have any. I'm out. I haven't drank in a while.
Been a while.
But I'll let you hold this water bottle. You know what I mean? You can hold anything you want because either I will freaking become successful, and you're allowed to come along with us. Step in the ring, hop on a train, do whatever you want to do, call it whatever you want to call it. We are more than willing to allow as many people to hop on this train to get to the top with each other, because I promise you, you can buy the biggest house, the biggest mountain, be at the top, and you can be lonely.
I'll tell you one thing, though. You jump on this train, you better be ready to do the work.
You better. Where you at, Evan?
Yeah. He's doing the work with his daughter tonight. Yeah, he let me know. So, but on a real note, hey, let's do the hard work first. Let's lean on our alliance. Be there 12:15.
12:15.
The link will be going out tomorrow, and I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss it. So we got to hit the rack. Or get out of here and go do what we got to do.
Jeff's got to go to bed. I don't know why, but
that's
whatever.
My brain right now. It's just been grinding. But hey, appreciate y'all joining us. Take a look at our YouTube YouTube, Facebook.
He's so tired.
We got our podcast is streaming on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can find a podcast. You can go back and listen to this as well. Just search Patriot Business Alliance. And shout out to the Knucklehead Media Group for helping us set all that up.
There we go. Knucklehead Media. And we are now creating a new social platform called Face You.
That's on that Trump shit. Hey, y'all be good. If you can't be good, what?
Yeah, be good.